Welcome to the lesson today. We are going to talk about App Engine and Cloud SQL. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to create our SQL database. Create instance, MySQL. I'm going to call it MySQL -db -container. I define a root password. Okay, gonna show advanced things here. Connectivity. You're gonna put a private IP. We're gonna need it later for the next lab. It's another thing. Okay, let's allocate and connect. Once it is done, you're gonna be able to create. Now, in a while, you're gonna enable the shell, the cloud shell. It's waited, still low, it's still launching all the engines. I'm gonna clone my project. Just going to get the URL. Okay. Takes a while to create database, so we can create it. Now I'm going to get my project, still loading. So let's clone my project. Let's clone it. Okay. Let's go in. A Maven project. I'm gonna share the config files. Basically, I have a configuration use a socket. Here's my instance, DB. This MVVAR belongs to the Cloud Shell already, but I'm not going to use that. You have a database name. I don't like to use user and password like this in case I use just zipped. But for just this example, we are going to MVVARs. And not even using a root. Never use the root user. I have another configuration for the cloud thing. My instance connection name, database name, and the database type. DB is still creating. So what we can do now, we can package our product. Really takes a while. I can surf around, even though you could use the Cloud SDK for all those commands. Here's my instance connection name, which I showed. I have to create a user and fill a database. I already have the private IP and the public address in case I'm gonna use the private IP to connect from Compute Engine. It's another resource on Google Cloud. This resource here. Let's Maven do its work. Done. Now we have to create the database. Then later we go to the App Engine. We can create from here or from the command line, which I prefer. Let's be back to the SQL. Let's wait the green line. Now I'm gonna check the regions I can use. Regions list. I'm gonna use one of those. We don't have Europe East, just West. Hello East. We're going to create our database, pretty simple. Right here, marketplace. Create overview. Then let's just go and create here our app. Now we're going to deploy our App Engine. perform all those steps. Let's make white. That's the time to do a coffee. Provides you a target URL, as I think you can see there on the bottom. Oh, sorry. You can get the URL later with the command Cloud App Browse. For next lab, we're gonna also connect with an application from an external application, connect to a SQL inside the Google Cloud. You create the repository, you can see gcr.io, Quick Labs App Engine. So it creates a Docker image on Google Container Registry in Europe. If you don't see this prefix, it means you are in US. Okay, could go to App Engine, just say something. Have a dashboard, settings. Still doing all those jobs. Instance, they have the failed load, but it's normal while you don't have the application full running. It's gonna take some minutes. Let's be back to this. Can be back to the SQL page. For double check many things, you can also connect from here in another tab. For an external, you can use the private, from Compute Engine, you can use the private IP. It's gonna take some minutes. Show their bases. Use. Oh, well, you can select, no problem. Oh, sorry. Oh, again, I have a bit fat. You see that use two tables and I didn't create any table. That's my loading script, which I show in here. I say only on the startup, it has to launch this SQL, which is on the resource folder. You see class map means the resource folder of the application. Source, main resources. take some minutes. Our App Engine. You know, we're gonna be checking something on a container registry. You see it created. Once you create a Docker image, it goes directly to this container registry. Call it default one, Docker, the image, and the tag, latest one, for double checking. After we go to compute engine. We had an URL before, which was the usually gets the ID appspot.com, something like that. It's just the table. If I go into App Engine, maybe I can discover the URL before. It gives me a okay. So here you see the application is just REST URLs. Once it's done all the login stuff here, you can run gcloud app browse and it gives you their URL. But in case I could get from the dashboard, okay, yeah, you see that? You can get from the dashboard. If you want to disable this application, go to settings, disable the application, which is not our case. gcloud app browse gives the URL. The project TD appspot.com. That's where I did before. I already knew that, but just for double checking. Thanks for watching. This is the end of the lab. If you have any questions, please comment. See you in the next lab.